Cool. Hello again, stream.
Hello.
I've returned. It's Jabricia once again. Hello.
Hello.
Alright, you guys can introduce yourselves. Name, student name, game name. Hello, Jess.
Hi, I'm Ramon. We're the Bullet Boys.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
Alrighty, you can go ahead, start playing. Let the people see what's going on.
Okay, this is our bowling roguelike, Unholy Roller. So, it's gonna load in.
Alright, tell us a little bit about it. What's the vibe? What's going on? What's happening?
So essentially, this is our project for our class, Unholy Roller 6. Essentially, we had the theme of the theme for our game is supposed to be like, you can't make me.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with this idea actually before we got the theme, but essentially it fits because it's like the pins are revolting against the bowling ball, saying you can't make me just sit around and get knocked down. And pretty much we're just basing all the gameplay around that. You're the bowling ball and you're fighting the pins.
Okay.
Yep.
So you said this guy is huge. Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. Okay, why a roguelike? Why a bowling roguelike specifically?
I think essentially we just kind of we just kind of workshopped this idea in one day. I kind of had the idea for the main mechanic of like launching us around, and then we thought like platformer, but maybe that's not going to work so well. And then we kind of came to the idea of a roguelike eventually. Just like, yeah, we can do roguelike, we can do random map generation. I think we were all pretty confident in our skills, so that's kind of how we came to this.
Sick. What did all of you do for the game?
So I did a lot of like the systems building because we wrote this in a framework, so we had to build all our systems. I did the music, which I don't know if is audible, but I did the music. I did almost all of the art except these tiles right here.
The special tiles.
Yeah. So yeah, this and all the menus.
Wait, go back to the pause menu. That was
This
great. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's spooky.
Thank you. And yeah, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then
Okay, so Jeff and Rumble here did most of the basic core mechanics of the game. I just made them like small functions that makes the game feel better, like the stop and the enhancement.
And I ended up doing a lot of the level generation, so the game generates a new map every time it loads, and just being able to have a randomly generated map means that every playthrough is going to be slightly different.
Okay.
We're able to specify how many rooms you want, how big you want the map to be. I also worked around some of the bug fixing and like smoothing out some of the mechanics. Things like getting animations to work on the boss specifically, as well as getting the layout of each room read correctly. The map is generated randomly, so rooms are connected randomly, but the interior of each room also has to be randomly generated as well to give it even more random and fresh experience every time you play.
Okay.
So yeah, I did most of the work on getting level to have the tile sets, have the obstacles generate, same with the enemies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like the rooms are placed randomly, but also the inside of the room is made.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
thanks.
Okay. I want to explore the UI here because I don't know what's going on. What's up with this guy up in the top corner? What's that?
Okay, so I had this idea for a speedometer because our game is a lot about like speed, building speed, and like I don't know, just moving around. So you have this little dial here, kind of tells you your speed, and then also it doubles as a health meter. Originally it was hearts, but now anytime you take damage, you'll see like shakes up a bit, and you get progressively more crap, and that tells you how much health you have.
Okay. Oh wait, he's so cute.
Yeah. So
Okay.
these are some basic things. Also came up with this idea for this little button or
Mhm.
cursor, and yeah, that's mainly UI.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Okay, Dokkan. Well, I want to ask what's all of our favorite things about the game so far. We can go. I don't know.
I don't know, you can
Someone go
first.
first.
Let's go the order that we been going.
So true.
Favorite thing about the game, I really like the mood, I guess. Like
Mhm.
doing the art and stuff for like just demonic pin art is just so so fun. Demonic pin and bowling ball art.
Mhm.
So awesome.
I like the idea of the game because
Mhm.
usually in a roguelike game you're only like a person, like some guy, but you don't really see like a bowling ball goes around in the like level.
Mhm.
So I like the idea a lot.
My favorite aspect of the game is probably the movement. Oh, yeah, the movement. The movement lets it feels really smooth, and especially when you combine your attack
Mhm.
with your movement by restricting the player to being able to move. Well, use their movement as their attack option.
Mm.
That kind of mixing between having to decide, hey, do I want to use one of my charges, one of my attacks, to put me in a better position, or should I
Yeah.
just go straight for just dealing as much damage as possible? I think
Mhm.
that play, that kind of movement encourages is really interesting and has a lot of potential. And
Mhm.
so that's why the move is my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, is it all like mouse controls?
You can use arrow keys and
Okay.
WASD to, but only when you're only when you are originally at 0 speed.
Okay. And you attack with the mouse?
You attack with the mouse. You can only
Okay.
do damage by rolling into enemies.
Makes sense to me. Does anyone have like a particular beef with bowling pins? Is
Oh,
that
yeah, it's,
You're like, I hate bowling pins, guys. They suck.
part of the reason we came up with this theme, Ramon was the one that originally came up with the main mechanic of launching the player itself around as the projectile, as the weapon,
Mhm.
but we didn't really have a coherent visual theme for the
Mhm,
game. And then I got reminded, that speed, that having to throw yourself into enemies reminded me of my experience in high school, being on my high school bowling team.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, if you are a bowling ball, you have a reason to hit the pins. You gotta get a
Right,
high
like,
score,
that's your-
right?
that's your whole job.
Yeah, that's the whole job.
Right,
So,
okay.
I hate pins.
Pins
pins, number one op.
suck. Always hated pins. What was one thing that was really difficult when you guys were working on this? It can be different for all of you. That's
Oh, yeah.
totally fine. We can go in same order if
Yeah.
you want. Or
I'd like to
flip
go
it.
first, actually.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
One of the hardest things was about this game was the fact that we had to make it within a framework,
Mhm.
and this being one of our first experiences really in game development as freshmen,
Mhm.
freshmen in RIT.
Mhm.
Big thrust into having to develop our own engine
Mhm.
out of basically from scratch.
Mhm.
Ended up being super difficult,
Mhm.
and it was really nice having Ramon on our team over here because he was able to he had the experience and background knowledge of
Mhm.
coding systems level
Mhm.
mechanics, like getting the camera to track the player,
Mhm.
getting everything drawn to the screen.
Mhm.
But without him, I'd say our project would be way worse just because of how difficult something like monogame is to use.
Mhm. Mhm. How about you?
I mean, I mostly did the easy part of the game, like the functions, but I would say the hardest thing I have worked on is the enemy pathfinding because, again,
Mhm.
this engine we're using for the game,
Yeah.
it doesn't have a lot of built-in functions.
Right, right, right.
We really have to
Mhm.
convert the grave position of the obstacles
Mhm.
into the real world position,
Mhm.
and which they don't match up
Yeah.
perfectly.
Right. I remember.
And,
Mhm.
so sometimes the enemy seems stupid. They're
It's just going
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing? I remember that because it's was it starting at top left corner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was tough.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hardest part for me. I don't know. I really did enjoy working in monogame.
Mhm.
It's been very fun for me. Much nicer than Java.
Oh no, I heard about that. Oh goodness.
I think maybe one of the hardest parts. I mean, it's still definitely tough. Definitely tough working in the engine. Maybe that's one of the toughest things. That and just like coordinating effort between everybody, because it's. I don't think that we were all very experienced with like. I don't think at every single point in development we knew what everybody else was doing. Like we didn't start using Trello until like halfway into the project, like really using it to like document what we were working on. So it was, I think that kind of bit us a little bit, but we still have this, so it's nice.
You know, you figured it out. You got there. Good
Yeah,
job. You got there.
definitely.
Period. All we can ask is that you learn something. Speaking of learning things, my next question was gonna be, what did we learn, guys? What did we learn from working on that project?
I the biggest thing I've learned is how important having someone like a producer is. Given that this is a game for a coding class where it's just a group of kids being thrown together, told to code something, I think having someone, like, not necessarily being their job being only a producer managing people, but having someone who's good at like managing people, making sure people's efforts are coordinated, like Ramon mentioned earlier, that is absolutely paramount to having a successful development experience. Like not just producing a final game, but also the experience of having everyone working together and like knowing that everyone's contributing as much as they can. Just learning. So that's the thing I learned the most. Like, please, producers, we need them. We need them.
So true. Somebody's gotta keep up with the Trello, okay?
that's
Somebody
right.
has to keep it up.
Yeah.
So real. What about you, if you have anything?
Well, for sure, like the actual experience in like doing coding, and also because it's teamwork, so also I think communication between team members. Because at first I was kind of like lost in the way in the group project. I wasn't contributing that much. And as we mentioned, we used the Trello halfway during our project, and I think so we have good communications about what we were doing, like what we were responsible for. That's really important while we doing the project.
Okay, that makes sense. Sounds good to me.
I learned how nice it is working in a group, because throughout my senior year of high school, I did a lot of solo development. Oh my goodness. Like by the end of any solo project, I'm just like wiped. I don't want to think about, after I post that game, I don't want to look at it. I do not want to look at it. Don't want to open it up, anything like that.
Go into an early retirement.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm changing career paths.
Yeah, but having other people to like actually rely on to do work and like, it's like a dopamine rush every time I check our Discord and I see like somebody else has completed something. It's just, it's really nice and it inspires me. And I think it's allowed me to free up my headspace such that I can do better work than I would have if I was just a solo developer on this project.
Beautiful. There's a tear to my eye, guys. It's okay. No tears, guys. Okay, so we're at the end. What are we thinking? What's next? Are we going to keep working on this? We're going to do other stuff. Just going to go through the classes, get the vibes. What are we thinking?
We've kind of talked a bit about like a lot of people seem to be excited about this game. I think we all think that this is a good idea. There's a lot of upwards mobility kind of high place that we can get to with this game just by working on it over time. And roguelikes aid themselves really well to iteration and adding a lot of content over time. So I think we want to kind of maybe port it to another game engine so that it's a bit easier to work on the game. And then after we do that, just try and fairly casually just add features over time.
Our plan for like specifically the casual adding of features, we're going to keep this alive as a side project. Our current plan is to port it over to an engine like Godot. And once we've got that done with, we're gonna, like, in our free time, we're just gonna add more and more features. We think we have a really good, solid base mechanic of, like, throwing the player around, having that movement, having that trade-off between attacking and moving. Sorry. So yeah, we're definitely gonna keep working on this as much as we can.
So cool. So slay. And then when it's able to wishlist on Steam, I'm gonna wishlist it.
No Steam release just yet. We have an
Whenever
itch.io
happens.
page.
Oh my gosh.
Called, it's just Unholy Roller.
Everyone go to the itch page
Yeah, check it out.
right now.
And yeah, that's where you can see us post updates and stuff. New
Sick.
builds.
So cool. Thanks, guys. Y'all are so cool. Oh my gosh. So cool. So cool. This game. Sick.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank you guys. You're so. Yay!
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Bye, stream.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.